Good evening. Repatriated wives and children of Australian, Islamic State fighters are settling back into life in Sydney's western suburbs after years languishing in Syrian refugee camps. 9 News can tonight reveal the women are not required to wear ankle bracelets, nor are they constantly monitored by police, despite community concerns.
A happy meal at Macca's in Punchbowl is a world away from war-ridden Syria. The Islamic State brides back home trying to adjust to a place they decided to leave 7 years ago. A day after landing, Mariam Debussy and her 3 children were at home, free to enjoy the playgrounds of Blacktown, sprawled across flying foxes and merry-go-rounds with their grandfather and advocate, Kamal Debussy.
The men went and took the women with them. The men are either died or in jail.
48 hours after landing, the Debussys were at McDonald's, meeting back up with other ISIS-linked families who were on the plane home from Syria with them. It's understood Ms Debussy also visited Kmart while organising medical, education and counselling support for her children. But it's the terror group they have left behind that's distressing the community.
They are very dangerous, to be honest, if not today, next year, if not next year, in the future.
The Debussy's youngest boy has been obsessed with the greenery of their Western Sydney backyard. Their 8-year-old is malnourished, currently the weight of a 4-year-old. All 3 have dental issues and now have to search for schools in the new year.
They are victims of war, and first and foremost, they're children. These kids are innocent, and we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're Aussie citizens at the end of the day.
Mariam left Sydney with her husband, an Islamic State fighter, in 2015. She claims she thought she was going on holidays to Turkey. Her husband died fighting 3 months after arriving in Syria.
Basically, I was tricked into coming into Syria by my husband.
Yazidi refugees who were targeted by ISIS in Syria are not willing to forgive the terror group.
They sold our sisters and our mothers who've been kidnapped by ISIS. They sold in Syria in a celebrity markets in public just for $5. The women and children, they are very dangerous for everyone who lives in Australia.
Criminal charges are unlikely. Mariam Debussy is the subject of voluntary orders, but there's no ankle bracelet, no 24-hour police supervision and no strict terrorism control order because there is no legal basis for any of it.
One and only priority is to keep Australians safe. We're following national security advice on all of those matters and will continue to do so.
The Albanese government made a decision to repatriate 16 women and 42 children from Syrian camps, the lion's share of which will settle in Sydney.
Other countries around the world, the US, the UK, France, Germany, Denmark, they have all made the same choice. It's a difficult choice, but really, at the end of the day, a country has to take responsibility for its own citizens.
After being informed of the Prime Minister's rescue plans, Premier Dominic Perrottet wrote to Anthony Albanese seeking assurances that the New South Wales cohort was assessed as presenting no risk to the community. Intelligence agencies were monitoring the individuals and that resettlement and reintegration costs were subsidised by the federal government. There has been no response. But the victims of Islamic State say their solution is simple.
Allocating more places for the Yazidis and for the people who make Australia better, not bringing those people to make Australia worried and to make it danger for everyone.
Chris is with me in the studio. Chris, an impossibly difficult situation. When are we expecting the next plane to land at Mascot?
Well, it's unclear at this point, Peter, but what we do know is there are 41 women and children still to return, and they are coming in 3 more groups. The Albanese government is refusing to divulge much detail at all, citing national security reasons, but the New South Wales government and some community leaders in Western Sydney are frustrated at the silence. Dominic Perrottet was not happy at all with the initial briefing he received from the Commonwealth and is demanding more information about how to handle this moving forward. It is a tough one. The women and kids are Australian citizens and they have not been charged with any crimes, but the record of Islamic State is frightening and the unease in the community should not be a surprise to anyone. Peter?
Chris, thank you.
For breaking news, turn to Peter Overton.